trading on a lot of stocks. Other brokers, I've heard interactive brokers, I've heard is happening honestly all the time. So we're going to be talking about what's going on. And then, of course, I'll be kind of live going through what I'm normally doing, the stocks that I'm currently looking at and trading. Really not being pretty cautious in buying stuff right now because a lot of things, either you can't buy them or then the broker goes down. So you got to be kind of careful upon some of that. And then there's people, who are saying don't sell. A lot of sketchy stuff's going on right now. So I'm going to see if I can, see, like even my broker's kind of thrown it off. Even Weeble's thrown it off. I will say that, when it comes to what's at least going on right now, there's like almost no broker is an exception. I think I've heard Trade Zero has been the best, at least today so far, has had the least issues. I know yesterday TD Ameritrade was a mess. I know Robinhood's kind of a mess as of right now. Webull was down for a lot of the morning. I don't know about the restrictions. I don't think they're restricting. You can't. I'm pretty sure you can trade these stocks because if you can't now you can't. AMC is not available on Webull as of right now, and no wonder why it's plummeting. So you can only probably sell it if you're in. Let's take a look at GameStop. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. These things are all kind of just coming down. But GameStop, at least on Webull, it's telling me I can buy it. So maybe there's that. Let's see. SNDL is another one. SNDL, it's telling me I can still buy it. So at least as of right now, those are available. AMC is the one that is not available. So we'll see. I'm going to go through a bunch of stocks. CTRM, apparently CTRM you cannot buy on Webull right now. So it's like a whole absolute mess with what's going on. Webull's up and down. It's going on and off. It seems like usually things will kind of slow down. The market's been open right for like an hour. So give it another, like, hopefully you'd think around now things should start kind of at least getting better. But it's just kind of crazy. And we've seen waves of this, we usually get this when the market's up a ton. We had this happen when we had the first news of the vaccine. Market was up a ton, and then all the brokers are down. So you get this all the time, but now people are obviously sketched out. It's like, hey, like, is this because the broker can't handle it? Is this like legit, or is this planned, right? Is this being done on purpose to stop what's going on? I don't know if there's really an answer to that question, and I don't know if Wall Street has an answer to what's been going on. I don't know how this is going to go in terms of what's, potentially. I think Robinhood suspended Dogecoin. You can't even buy that anymore if you have it. I had Dogecoin. It's up like 200% since I got. I could sell it, but what's the point? You're playing into the game when you do that stuff, right? If you're using these platforms and you're selling, well, you're doing what exactly they want you to do, because this is a rigged game here. For example, CTRM, where you can't buy it on certain brokers. What does that do? It only makes it that much harder to run the price up for buyers that come pouring in to get the price up. So it only makes it that much harder. I get the point of people saying don't sell. Because, you're only going to make the shorts win when you sell, and they're trying to, get that to happen. So this is nuts. Let's see. Robinhood cost me 20. I know. I have stuff in Robinhood, but I will be getting out. I have like just longer term stuff because it's just been simple and just put it in there, right, and whatever. But yeah, after what I'm seeing today, there's just absolutely no way I could possibly keep any money in there. They're done. They're dead to me now. But I use Webull for the most part for most of my active stuff. Bitcoin, here's your rough downtrend. So Bitcoin is like still in a downtrend for right now, but it seems like it's bottoming out. So Bitcoin is probably going to reverse back on up at some point. It looks like it's holding around 30,000 support. So I like kind of Bitcoin where it's at. But all these stocks are getting hit like left and right. FTFT, right? Bouncing off the bottom, hitting 4, and then just shooting up. It's up 20% now, hitting 5. Let's see what we got. FTFT blowing up like literally as we speak. It's kind of crazy. Like LLIT is another one on the list, on the top gainer list. Hit 1688. Now it's coming down. If you want to dip on LLIT, I mean, this is probably not a terrible. I think it's halted though, but it's probably not a terrible spot around VWAP. So around this $12 ish isn't a terrible dip buy. If you really wanted to, if you had to buy LLIT, I mean, you're buying the thing that's already up from this morning. It's up 100%. So Obviously take that, I'm not going to be the one for those who are coming in and stuff. I'm not the one to say, buy everything. Like don't want people to lose. At the end of the day, I don't want people to lose money. I don't know what's going to happen with all this stuff. So I don't want to just kind of make people say, and say, hey, just keep buying. Because if you be smart in what's going on, don't just watch for right now if that's the case, or hold on to what you have if you really want to. SNDL, look at this, because they blocked SNDL. They took it off Robinhood, right? You can't buy SNDL on Robinhood anymore, and I'm sure there's other brokers as well. Boom, the thing has come since they did that. The thing hit 136. It halted twice, and then boom, it's come plummeting straight down. It's back to 87. The volatility is insane. But again, once you saw that you could not buy a SNDL on Robinhood, you couldn't buy certain stocks on Robinhood. What's the logical move here? Short it, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of traders who did that. Who not hedge funds, none of that stuff. Just regular traders who did that, because logically it just makes sense. They're all going to sell, right? You can only sell. It takes away that many more buyers. And so, Robinhood, the thing that's crazy, that Robinhood's main audience is that person, right? The casual investor, the casual trader who is now revolting against the whole system and everything, which is nuts. And they're gonna, I think they're done. This is going to be huge. They're going to be, no one's going to use it anymore. Why would you use Robinhood anymore? I mean, it makes no sense. Let's see. I don't think I can pull up Dogecoin I don't think Dogecoin's on Webull. It's not. Let's see. AMC is back. Let's take a peek at AMC. Is it back? Yes. Okay. So you can now buy AMC on Webull apparently now. So at least it's showing me it is available to buy, but it's plummeted. This thing is down to $7. It's down 64% today. The thing's getting crushed. I am using Webull. I want to, for those who have Robinhood, there's a link down below for Webull if you want to check it out and sign up bonus. They had issues this morning, like all brokers. It was down, it was up, it was down. There seems to be less restrictions upon. I don't think they're restricting stocks from what it seems like. AMC at least is back. It's halted down now because it's plummeting to the downside. But we'll see. Let's see if my position's okay. So I was looking to see if I could. I'm trying to see what's going on here. I have some VIVE, I have a bunch of things, but everything it seems like is just kind of just insanely volatile right now. So I'm not looking to buy at least anything right now. Let's see. No, I hear you guys with how it's BS. I 100%, because you legitimately, what you did was you rigged, as much as like, I understand. Here's why Robinhood did it, because they had lawsuits in the past and they had that unfortunate situation, I think a few months back. Right. So they know they kind of see what's going to happen, right? They're anticipating at some point in the future, AMC, Gamestop, right? They're going to come down, right? At some point in the future, they're going to come down. Who knows when? Okay. And so the anticipation is that, okay, that's going to happen. So let's ban these stocks from being bought on our platforms right now, so that people are going to experience at some point down the road and lose a lot of money. That's why they did it, so they can prevent themselves and protect themselves, potentially, right? But there's also more, I can hear more behind it. But that's how I'm thinking. Logically, they're kind of covering themselves. But at the same time, what are you doing? You're manipulating the market, because now you're taking a massive amount of people who use your platform, who you've begged to come to your platform, and you've said, hey, this is the best platform. It's super easy to use. It is for the average investor. It's for the average kind of just retail trader, right? Who just is a casual part-time on the side person. You took them and said, hey, you can't do it anymore. So now what? It's like it's just kind of absolutely ridiculous. It's just. I wouldn't say sign or pull your money out of Robinhood right now. I just, once things settle down, sell what you have or move over or transfer to a different broker. I think it's just a better way. There's plenty of other ones out there. I know a lot of people like Robinhood, how it's so easy to use and whatnot, and not to mention they have this new promotion right now where they're giving to some people where they're like, hey, get 4 free stocks if you sign up to Robinhood. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I'm curious to see how a lot of people who've been promoting it for so long, I'm curious to see what they have to say about all this stuff. But it's not just Robinhood, right? Every app stopped. You couldn't buy AMC, you couldn't buy GameStop yesterday on TD Ameritrade. Webull, not that much better because, okay, yeah, maybe they don't have those restrictions on these stocks, but right when the platform's down and you can't use it, it stinks. And so I use Webull, but it was down for like a good half hour this morning. I know a lot of platforms, even E-Trade. I would say if I had to pick another one, it would probably be E-Trade, but that was down too. So it's like there's no way to win. It seems like, and at least as of right now. I'm trying to see what else is going on. I haven't taken a peek at GameStop in a while. Let's take a peek at GameStop and see what it's doing. Plummeting down, but it recovered off this morning dip. So, yeah, Weebill's bad. You can't. Yeah, they're all bad. Another thing with the fractional shares on Robinhood, that's why people like it as well. So I hear that. Man, it's just ridiculous though. But again, understand though that you would think, at least how I see it, is that you would think that a lot of these brokers, right, after what we've been seeing in the past in terms of these massive volume days with what's gone on with the pandemic, with the vaccine, and we had massive up days, massive down days, and this and that. They've had this type of volume before. They've had days where you've had massive trading volume. But, it seems like for whatever reason, now you can't handle it. I just kind of don't understand. I understand that to a degree here and there. You're going to have issues. You're going to have glitches. You're going to have that. But how all these brokers are having issues like this, I mean, I think it's just, I don't really know if it's coincidence or not. AMC, apparently you can still buy it on Webull. Let's see. I mean, it still says I can buy it and it's open again, so I could buy it if I wanted to. If it's not, it would say not available. So it's available at least on a Webull right now. So at least that's that. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else. Everything's kind of actually, a lot of stuff's pulling back right now, at least that I'm noticing. Market's up a lot today off of yesterday. It's up like a good % or so, whatever it is. Let me pull up the futures. I mean, they're up. So all this stuff's up, which is hilarious because, again, you think about this too. What happened yesterday? They pulled the market down. Well, I say they. I'm just kind of using that as like a broad representation of a lot of different reasons. But pull the market down only to just run it back up today. Although a lot of stuff is not correlating to that. So you can't say for sure. Let's take a look at BlackBerry. Let's see. I mean, I don't even know what to even think. I think this is halted again. AMC's halted again. What is it even? What are these halts? I mean, this isn't even like that big of a. Was it an up halt? They halted it up. That's just kind of that. It's ridiculous. It was up 70 cents off of the low, off of $7. It hit $7 and it went up 70 cents. They halted it. It seems like it's kind of a ridiculous halt. I can understand if it goes up like $2. I don't know the exact parameters, but. I can understand if it goes up or down, $1, $2 in a very short period of time. Yeah, but 70 cents and you're going to halt it? I mean, this is just something that's being messed with here. Let's go back to GameStop. GameStop's halted again. It opened up for a second and then it immediately halted down. The thing goes down to opens up $3.30. It goes down $30, $33 in like a minute, I guess, and it halted down. Yeah, I mean, there's more. Yeah, it's not just. There's more than just Robinhood. Yeah, that's right. There's more. It's more than just Robinhood. It's not just them. There's more. There's more here. TD Ameritrade did it yesterday. They did it yesterday, so I'm not surprised. I'm currently I currently have a cash account, although I wanted to switch back to margin. But the problem is that when you do so, it takes like, at least on Webull, it takes like 6 or 7 days to do so. So you have to be out of the market for 6 or 7 days. That's fine. Ideally, it wouldn't have been a terrible idea with the madness that's happened this week. Of course, people made a ton of money in doing so. I've just been I've been up and down all over the place. It's like I've tried to kind of keep it simple as I possibly can. Let's see. No, yeah, I don't think it's the issue of the account. I think it's just the platform is having issues because of volume. Now, what's happening, right? Everyone's running from Robinhood, and they're running to Webull, or they're running to TD Ameritrade, they're running to E-Trade, they're running to all other platforms. So it's throwing off everything. It's not just like, okay, like let's just go to a different platform, and now I can trade AMC or I can trade GameStop. Yes, but then the platform can't handle all the volume of people who are coming into the platform. They can't do it, and so you can't. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like defeating the purpose of switching the platform. It's just like, what do you do? So I don't know. Let's see. I want to see what's running up. Jan is the one that was up most. It's down. Everything's halted. Down halted. ACY is this trading? No, this is not trading right now. Down halted, I guess. Or no, maybe it is trading. No, it is trading. ACY is at least back. ACY is back, but it's down off of the highs. GBR, this thing is running. GBR is one you can trade. At least it's up 90%. That's nuts. And GBR is an oil play, I believe. Let's pull up. GBR is a energy oil play, I believe. So what I was looking at was HUSA, and there it goes. HUSA is blowing up, I guess because GBR is blowing up. So, I mean, I would do it. I was actually looking to buy in HUSA earlier this morning at like 210. Would have been a good idea, but I didn't take it at the time because the platforms have been all wonky. So I don't want to buy something and then not be able to sell it. That's my whole thing. It's not a free market if this is how it's going to be, you know? Yeah, it's not just Robin. Yeah, yeah, exactly. People think Robin is a problem, but it's not just that. Now, there's more to it. I don't personally like what Robinhood did. I don't like what TD Ameritrade did yesterday. I think they did today too, right? I'm not sure if you can trade AMC or GameStop on TD Ameritrade today, but I'm not in AMC. I was actually in AMC like last week. I was in AMC last week before it became a whole thing, and I had taken some profits along the way, ideally, and then I sold some on Monday. I think on Monday or Tuesday, before this thing just blew up, and before everything kind of just took off, and not even knowing. And then I had a little bit left that I held, and I did great on those shares, but had I known, I would have been in a lot larger at the time. So we'll see. SNDL looks like it's trying to. Is it SNDL come back? Let's see. No, SNDL's down too. It's back down to 80 something. So it's just they're all down. Friggin' I don't know. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. AAL, yeah, I know. I saw that too. American Airlines. That was the funniest thing when I saw American Airlines up massively. Wait, where's AAL? When I saw this thing up massively in the pre-market hours, that was hilarious. They literally just doubled it. It was 15, it went to 30, 65, and it's come down hard since. But it's one of those kind of highly shorted stocks. So if we go into, I'll pull up, where is it? Here it is, FinViz, right? And you just go on a simple search on FinViz to scan for stocks. The first stock that's going to come up that has a high, short percentage is going to be American Airlines. It's the literal first stock that comes up. So I was like, it's only going to be a matter of time probably before this thing gets hit. So I'm not surprised. ACB is another cannabis stock. This one could be interesting as a potential, play. Also, breaking out of this, downtrend, I could see ACB, squeezing. It's got a 21% short float, 160 million shares available to trade. It's movable for sure. If Nokia moved, this thing can move. So we'll see what happens with this guy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this stuff. I'm personally a cautious dip buyer as what I'm. Look at this. This is Vive. This thing got destroyed. I had a sell order on this thing. That thing is coming down hard. I had a bunch this morning that I took up, that I had on the way up. I took off on the way up, but this thing is getting kicked to the curb here. Hitting, what is this, 465, and it's plummeted since then, hitting now down to 341. Vive is a super low float stock, so it's going to be very, very volatile in how that moves. But we'll see. A lot of these stocks hitting these lows, I would not be surprised if they start coming back up. Let's see. Class action, there probably will be. There probably will be, and not just Robinhood. There's probably going to be class action against more than just Robinhood. I literally don't know what, let's see what this is doing. Let's see what AMC is doing. I don't know what the honest, the smart answer to tell you here is, because I know everyone who's saying hold, right? But then there's the other side of things too. Other side of people who are like, well, if you're buying AMC at 20 plus, with money that you can't afford to lose, well, that's stupid, right? If you can afford to lose money and you're doing it for a bigger reason than money, then that's one thing, and I completely understand what you're doing, and then I seriously, I get it. But for those people who are like looking to trade, because this is traditionally what traditionally my channel has been, for the past, I don't know how many months, like before even the pandemic, before it was even fun, before it was even cool, right, to trade like some of this stuff. Like that's what I've been doing, right? But now you have a new era of people who are doing this stuff, and I don't want people to just. I was never for just the YOLO and all that stuff, but I understand where people are coming from in buying these things at this point. And it's more than just. I think it's going to go up at this point. It's more than that. It's sticking it to everyone who's done us wrong right over the years. I see it. Now Vive is coming back. This is just a super volatile play. I'm personally CRBP. Where is CRBP? I've had CRBP. This thing has just been hanging around for a while, so it's just doing its thing. I had a lot of CRBP. Rode that one up the past couple of weeks from like the low ones, and then took off half at 250 or on the way to 250. So I have half of what I had, but I'm looking for this thing to make another pop up, and it's trying to hold support here around this upper ones and low twos. So I do like CRBP. The thing with CRBP is if we pull up CRBP, let's pull this bad boy up. The reason why people like it and why it's getting talked about is because it's got a super high short percentage. Where is it? 20% short on this thing with a massive gap up here. So those who, and it's like this was just a pattern that I liked to see in just stocks like in general, right? When you see a gap up type of gap here, that's a beautiful pattern to see. But CRBP, I want to see this thing pushing up eventually, but that was just before this whole madness. So who knows even what's going to happen with this thing. Honestly, what I've been doing is dip buying a lot of things because a lot of other stuff is getting hit, right? Because what you're seeing is that you're seeing volume transfer to different sectors and different types of stocks. And so volume's getting pulled out of other stocks that may have been, solid buys, last week or the week before. And so those stocks are selling off on low volume. For example, WWR, let's see, this is WWR, right? This thing is pulling back off of low volume, right? Low volume today, but it's pulling back. Down 12%. Why is WWR down 12%? Couldn't tell you. Makes no sense. Like this is the type of stuff that I like to look into dip buy. Appreciate the donation. Hedge funds are mad. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. It's funny, but the thing is going to happen though is that they're not making it better. They're not just like being quiet and letting it happen and that's it. Because I think what probably would have happened is if this didn't become a thing and they didn't suspend stocks and stuff like that, these stocks would run up. Eventually you'd hit some sort of point where it's like, okay, and then things eventually just slowly progress on to either the next stock or it becomes less of a thing. And then what happens is it just kind of all gets back to a new reality, or we kind of go back to normal, if that's even a thing, right? And that would have probably just happened naturally, but now it's not going to happen because of what's been done. And so everyone's like, no, like, so now the second AMC is back up on Robinhood, what do you think everyone's going to do? They're going to buy it. It's going to happen again. So there's no way to stop it. So what I've been doing personally myself is I've been looking for solid value swings. I like WWR going forward, what they do. And so I like that sector. I like what they have. So it's one of those swings that I've been buying dips. Now it's coming down close to my average. So if it comes down below my average, I'll buy the dip. That's what I personally have been doing. This thing is down 10% today off of, for what? For what? Like, why is this thing down 10%? Like, unless, you find some news and like, oh, here's why. There's no reason. The market's actually even up. The stock's coming down on low volume. Okay, like look at the reason why. Like you look at the daily chart here. Look at today's volume. Okay, we have a lot of the day left. Volume is very low, so we'll see what happens. Selling off on low volume is usually a good dip buy sign. So I like that WWR play as a dip buy. So if it comes down below 650, I'll be buying that dip later today. Let's see. KMPH is another one that had a massive price target upgrade. They even had good news yesterday, FDA news. The thing has been selling off. So like these are the value swings that I'm actually looking to be buying. And so I'm not really concerned about what's happening like necessarily right now on these stocks But while everyone's kind of focused on other stocks and the low volume sell-offs are happening on a lot of stocks that you on the back burner right now, these are some good low value swings to pick up for just for the, for the longer term, not longer term, but even just for like the, next week after, and potentially beyond that. And we'll see how long everything lasts. But I like some of these things. So these are the stuff that I've been talking about on my, on my channel, on my videos every single Saturday. I go over what I'm holding and stuff. So that's personally what I've been doing in the background. And okay, let's see what this is doing. This is down below 5 again, which is kind of crazy because this thing popped yesterday, popped to almost 10, right? And then it comes back down this hard. So, I mean, if there was a stock like legitimately that made some sense here with 5G and everything going on, I think Nokia is actually not a terrible idea. The only problem is that if it's getting suspended and then this is happening and that's happening, then what is going on? Well, then it throws off. So it's no longer like a natural trade. It's because Nokia has had kind of an unnatural push that is throwing this off. So this could be a decent dip. Under $5 is not terrible. There is a gap. If we look here, there's a gap. It could come down to like 425. But if Nokia goes back sub 450, that's what it was trading at before this all happened. There was still people who like legitimately believed in the value behind Nokia, even before the Gamestop, before the AMC, before all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't think this is a terrible one to be honest. If there was one out of all of them to pick in terms of risk reward that makes the most sense, I think Nokia just based on that makes the most sense to me. Personally as a trade. Look at WWR. For those who'd like to scalp, look at this. This thing, let's look at the 1 minute chart really quick. This thing hits 650 for absolutely no reason. It was down 12%. It is now down 7%. You had a 5% scalp just like that. I'm sure some people took it, but like that's an example of the types of dip buys I look for is, even just if you were looking to scalp. I don't scalp too much like that. I'll just buy those dips that I see, but that's a perfect example. Let's see. I hear you. If you deposit money into a brokerage, I understand how they're trying to protect you, right? Well, that's what they're going to say. But I understand, right? You understand the risks. So if they have the risk disclosed on the site, why are they stopping people from trading? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? I do and I don't. Like I get it because they're liability and suing, and people are going to sue them whatever for losses and whatever. I don't know. But at the same time, if you outline the risks, there shouldn't be a need for that. You've already kind of disclosed that and it's known. So. And that's the other thing too, is that this is kind of what's worrying me in a sense, is that not only are we worried about, let's pull up, I'll pull up NOK, let's see what it's been doing. It's actually bottoming out here. So it looks like it's recovering. So we can kind of see that it's bottoming out here, 460-ish area, and it's kind of, pushed back. Once it gets back over 5, this could be, that could be a good sign for NOK going forward. Back over 5 is a key level, I think, for Nokia. But I'm worried about what's going to happen in terms of restrictions. Like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do to even the playing field, as they may say? Whether that's good, bad for us, I don't know. What are they honestly going to do in terms of like SEC restrictions? Are they going to halt stuff? Are they going to limit social media? Are you no longer going to be allowed to talk about stocks on Twitter, on whatever? Is that going to be a thing? If that's a thing, that people are not going to like that. But I don't know. What's the right answer? I literally don't know what's going to happen. I think what really, if this wasn't so publicized on like CNBC and the media and stuff, probably would have just run its course. It probably would have just run its course and that's it. But let's see. And NNDM was one that I was actually watching this morning. Let's see what it's up to right now. NNDM pushed up this morning pretty nicely to 15, and then it's pulled back. This is a decent. Well, let's look at NNDM. It hit up to 17, almost $18 a few days ago, and it's pulled back since. NNDM has been an absolute beast. I don't know if they've done an offering, but they've been an absolute beast as of late. Let's see. The problem that I have though with like, okay, what's AMC? It's recovering off the bottom. Okay, it hit $7. It's recovering off the bottom. For those coming in, right? The problem with this stuff is that it's rigged to be a short, because you can't, if you can't buy it, if that many people can't buy the stock anymore, what's the only trade? The only trade is a sell. You can either short it or you can sell the shares you already have. So it's only going to go one way, technically, if most brokers are already shutting it down. Now, there are plenty of brokers that you can trade it. There's offshore brokers. There's Trade Zero. There's other ones. I think, Webull, you can trade it for now, which I don't want to keep. It's like a shameless plug, but also if you want to switch from Robinhood to Webull, there's a link down below for a sign-up bonus as well if you want to check it out. I'm telling you, I recommend having multiple brokers. But at the same time, I'm not going to come here and say that Webull's the best thing because Webull was down today. It's been up and it's been on and off. The problem is, right, you got everyone going from Robinhood to TD to E-Trade to Webull to this to that to Trade Zero. So everyone's having issues because you got everyone doing the same thing. Everyone is trying to get their money out of one place and put it somewhere else. And I can't even imagine the Robinhood, mess because you got people probably trying to take your money out of Robinhood. But then guess what? The customer service at Robinhood is crap. It's horrible. So what do? You can't even get your money out unless you sell everything and just do it yourself without, without having to worry about customer service. But, who knows how long that could take, especially now. So E-Trade you can buy on E-Trade and sell. I believe the stable Webull you can buy it. It says you can buy it right here, so you can do that. I don't know. The thing is too, though, is that those who, if you think about the shorts who are really winning here, okay, yeah, so we restrict the platform. We restrict, you can't buy on this platform. You can't do this. Okay, cool. The stocks have gone up massively. So there are shorts that were able to, that saw this coming, whether they knew about it or not. I don't want to speculate into that stuff about Robinhood shutting down, right? Robinhood shut down you couldn't buy AMC whatever time, like 9 a.m. when they opened. There are places that knew that was coming. So what are they doing? They're probably putting on a short position up here in the 20s, right? And they just crushed it because it went to 7. So they just made a massive killing, even though, right? So as much as you want to say that, I'll stick it to the suits and whatever, I get it. But ultimately, if they're smart, what they're probably doing is they probably took a pretty big beating, right? So you take a step back, but guess what? You recharge, you get more money, and you come back and you crush it on the way down when it finally ends. And if they knew this was going to happen and brokers are going to restrict the buying, that is the time they crush it down. And that's what happened. That's what I would think is what a lot of, big money did here this morning. They probably took it, and they just took AMC from 20 plus down to sub 10, made an absolute killing on that trade, and now is it and I'm sure they did the same thing with Gamestop. Let's pull up Gamestop. I'm sure they did it's getting crushed. Gamestop is halting down again. They probably did the exact same thing. This thing goes over 500. Yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to go short, boom, and they're going to crush it. And it came down to 250. The thing cuts in half. It pops back up to 500. Okay, guess what? Let's do it again. Boom, and they did it again. So there were, as much as you want to say that, I understand sticking it to them, but they've probably come back and won to a degree. On this. They probably have been able to do something, whether you like it or not. I would think, especially if they knew this was coming. If they knew that brokers are going to shut down, which wouldn't be surprised if they did, then yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay, so GME is halted down. Let's take a look at AMC. How is this going? AMC's come back up. AMC back over 10 could potentially restart the fire, although it looks like it's probably going to get halted here very soon because it's been pushing up, at a pretty good pace. So it's probably, I don't have the halt prices and stuff like that currently, but some brokers do allow you to see where the halt price is going to be. I believe Trade Zero is one that you can see that. And then there's a lot of other brokers out there, even offshore brokers people like to use too. So back to VWAP 1055. I think it's halted right now, actually. Is it halted? I think so. We'll see. Just bought another 955. I mean, if this thing recovers, I don't think it's done. I just don't think it's done. And at some point, right, you're going to get so much lashback, and you got big names, right? You have Portnoy and stuff talking about how this is horrible, and he at least AMC's halted, right? So, and then at the same time, he at least has kind of more pull, right, in that stuff. So the lashback's going to come, and when if they finally unleash this and they open this back up on TD, on Robinhood, whatever, and have no restrictions to what you can buy and sell, this is going to blow up even more. This is just fueling the fire even more, that much more. I'm telling you. Yeah, exactly. If they knew that was coming, that's the thing. That is against the law. If they knew that this was coming, yeah. But the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised because that's what's been happening for years, right? And we don't know about it. But now, because guess what? There's more attention on trading. Everyone's, people have been home the past X number of months. There's been more attention on this. So light is starting to be, light's been shined. And now even more so when some of this stuff starts happening, the light's being really shined and then the curtain's being pulled back and we can really kind of see, wait a sec, like what's been going on? And the thing, and this is great, I'm not complaining, but it's funny. I'm fine. I don't care if I lose, win, whatever, at the end of the day, because it's adapt or die. So whatever happens, it takes a few weeks to figure out what's going on. You adapt, you figure out your strategy. For someone who's doing this who's been doing it for longer, who wants to be able to do this consistently. There are people who are coming in and sticking it to the suits. I get it, but you're coming in part-time. You just want to have fun, right? Boom. I get it. And do your thing. But there's people who've been trading for so long. Some have made an absolute killing the past couple of days, and some have gotten crushed because the market pulls back and they don't know what to trade. And so I can totally see both sides. But you adapt or you die is how I see it. But personally for me, most of the stuff, I don't know if I think I'm green, but not that much for the week. But honestly, like most of the stuff that I was used to doing, how I was used to trading was out the window this past week, completely out the window, right? It didn't matter what the stock was. NAKD, like I'm telling you, I think this is the funniest thing for those who don't know, because I traded NAKD. Let me pull this bad boy up. I used to trade this stock, months and months ago when this thing was a 6-cent stock. It went literally, like, look at this chart, right? I would trade some of these spikes in the past, and it was fun because these types of spikes, what I want to say too, for those who don't know, the spikes you're seeing on GameStop and the short squeeze and stuff, this happens all the time in penny stocks that aren't talked about. This happens all the time. Every single day. Some weeks and some days it's more than others, but this happens all the time. Right now, we're just seeing it on a larger scale, so it's getting more attention. But this happens all the time anyway, and it's never talked about. What I'm saying is that there's a game that at least I have started to learn, and a lot of people have learned over the past X number of years, months, whatever it was. You learn the game, and once you learn the game, it's fine. You understand that you're getting screwed. You understand that the game is rigged. But once you understand that, it makes things so much easier on yourself, and things make more sense. And so you can put yourself in more situations, or you can kind of put yourself in the mind, right, of a hedge fund, or you put yourself in the mind of of the suits. And so how do you win? And so you can start to do that. Now, most people never get to that point where they figure it out and they can do that. And mentally, it's a lot tougher than you think. But that's kind of like one of those things that a lot of people are kind of going crazy over because it's like, I learned the game and now the game's changing, but that's just the nature of it. If you can't adapt, you're gonna lose. You're gonna die. But NAKD is funny, right? This thing was so stubborn, would never get over 60 cents in the past couple months, and all it took was for it to become a meme to go crazy. And it's perfect. NAKD. I didn't think this yesterday. I was thinking to myself, why is NAKD running? I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, wait a second. You look on Reddit, you look around on social media, and you're like, NAKD, naked. That's a perfect stock for what's going on. Boom. It just logically kind of made sense as to why it was getting attention. And it's hilarious. It honestly is hilarious. Decent dip, at least relatively, for what it's been doing. Virgin Galactic, let's pull up. How has this been doing? It's getting hit right now. It's getting kind of crushed. This was up a lot and now pulling back. So we'll see. I actually have SPCE. I invested in this stock. It's in my long-term swing account. I had shares from $25. So I'm up I was up $100 yesterday. More than 100%. On my at least trade or my SPCE, I like it, and decent dip today. Also SPCE, right? Pull up the short percentage. If you guys don't know, this is Finviz. There's a link down below, or just type in finviz.com. You can go and get access to screeners. It's free. You don't have to pay for the pro version if you want to. It's an option too, but so 27% of the float is short. So this is a short squeeze candidate for sure. So yeah, I it's another one of those stocks. Now it popped up a lot and then it's coming down now. So I personally like it as a longer term somewhat speculative play, but I kind of like it, for what it is. That's just me though. Again, don't just take, what I say and go with that, but that's that. What's up with BB? Let's pull out BlackBerry. I think it's coming down. So it's coming down. 1340 was the low. Here's a support right here. So it's dropping down. But I mean, so it filled the gap down. So I wouldn't be surprised if it finds some support around this 15-ish area. Would not be surprised. Let's see. Are these still halted? Is GameStop still halted? Let's see what's been going on. Yeah, this thing is halted again. Halted at 1108 was the halt, so it should open up soon. But this is getting killed. It's getting absolutely killed. I mean, I don't want to like say the party's over, because once things, if these things are back, this can get run right back up, because it's not necessarily like, okay, let's move on. There's no moving on after what's been happening. There's no moving on. This is not going to be over anytime soon. So I don't even know. I'm trying to see if I can find any like news about what's going on. HUSA is one that I've been watching since this morning, but it pulled back, dipped down to 215, and is running up because GBR is I guess an oiler as well. So GBR is ripping. HUSA is also an oil play. So I'm looking at this one. Probably not going to take it, but I was in this one a little while back. I sold into the spikes a couple days ago, and then I was looking to reload this thing under 2, and it kind of barely got there. If it came down today, I would have got it, but I missed it, unfortunately. Volume's coming in though. Volume is actually, you cannot deny, this is actually some significant volume for HUSA. That's actually significant. I wonder if we should take a shot. VIVE is like dead. I had a bunch earlier this morning, sold most of it, leaving 100. This thing is dead for now. ATNF, also a high percentage of the float short here on this one, is also kind of slowing down. Let's see. WWR has recovered, massively off the dip we just saw from it recovered 50 cents, and it actually recovered more. It recovered to 712. It's nuts. That's nuts. That was just an absolute. That was one of those examples of what I'm doing, right? I'm buying strategically, right? Buying dips. So I have a good amount. I have about a third of my account cash, so that I can do that. And I try to keep roughly a third of my account cash. Now, sometimes I'll go and I'll have my account, I'll keep it more. Like sometimes we'll go a little bit heavier, like this morning or into last night. I was like maybe a fourth cash or maybe even less. But then I sold a couple things this morning to kind of free some space. So some dip buys I bought yesterday, I sold this morning, and I free up some cash for new plays and for new things that I want to potentially look into. So let's see. This is what's hot right now. These low float oil plays are seemingly the ones that are pushing. So HUSA has that potential. I mean, this thing has potential to make moves to $2.50 to $3. Look at the history. Look at the daily chart here on HUSA. I mean, it has a prior history of spikes to 630. So this is the thing. This is the thing that's crazy for those who are new, who are coming in and not sure, like if this is normal. It actually is. Like these types of spikes and moves are actually what happens a lot of times in a lot of penny stocks, sub $5 stocks, low floats. This is what I play. Now it's thrown a wrench into things because the market's kind of gone haywire, right? But this isn't this happens. It's now just being put on a much bigger scale because we're seeing it happen with GameStop, with AMC, and we're seeing it to massive proportions on the bigger name stocks that traditionally shouldn't move that much. It takes a lot more volume to move those stocks. So that's what's kind of going on. As of right now. Rig, is Rig a good play? What is Rig oil? I think it could be a decent play. It's just not traditionally one that likes to pop with what's popping. Like, so GBR is running, right? This thing continues to push up. It's at 6. It's up 200% today. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. So like my best like idea behind this would be probably HUSA. Honestly, I'll just take 100 shares just for fun, just because we'll take 100 for fun. If it does blow up, I want to at least make. My position sizing is completely different. So I usually this is essentially just lottery money that I'll take. So I'll take 100. If it dipped a little more, maybe I'll grab another 100. But just for fun, because and the reason why is because, okay, look what's happening, right? GBR is leading the pack, and it's in that same sector, oil, energy, oil, gas, right, sector. And so HUSA is in that same sector, which is why it makes sense for me. And I played it before. I played it many times before, and I think it has the potential. HUSA also, we go look at the FinViz float and stuff. HUSA, let's see what we got. Not a big short percentage, only 7%, but the float is 6 million. So this thing can move with volume. This thing can move for sure. Can move for sure. SENS, let's take a peek. SENS. How is this guy doing? So it's coming down. It's trying to develop. It's kind of bottoming right now around this 230 to 250 area. So let's see if we can look at the daily on this guy. It did just spike. So personally for me, I don't like to play these stocks, although it is putting in higher lows. So if it keeps putting in higher lows on the daily, it honestly looks okay. But that said, I don't like to play them when they're kind of like choppy like this up here. What I like to see is like, see this period right here? They had this pop to like 115, 120. See how it came down and held support up here and got kind of quiet and bottomed out around 82 or so? That's the type of time I like to buy. So until we can kind of see that, it's been too volatile. Yeah, you're getting it on red day, which is ideal. I don't like to buy on green days. Yeah, makes sense, but there, at least that's kind of my take on it. Personally, I wouldn't be a huge fan. Doesn't mean that it can't go. Boom. HUSA is, look at there it goes. It's starting to move up. Let's see. There it is. So we're up like a few bucks. This thing, the reason why it's a lottery ticket is because this thing it has potential to go to like $6 because look at what's happening with the GBR. It's at 7. This is insane. GBR is at $7. I mean, honestly, I should probably add to this. Just because why not? Because it seems like it's like a legitimate trade now. Not that I'm going to be going in big because, again, I don't like to mess around because all the brokers are having issues and whatnot. So it's not a time to be going in massive on new stuff, especially stuff like this because this is a stock that's kind of a sympathy play to GBR. So it's not like, I would recommend, people going in big on this stuff. But that's that. It looks like VIVE may be done. I only had a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this because I want to just free up some money. I made good money on this one this morning, so I'm going to just take off the last bit that I have. Personally, for right now, is it the best time to sell? No, but I've already sold like 85% of my shares already. So I'll just put the sell order in just to clean up. I also want to make sure I clean up my positions so that I can reallocate into new positions, obviously, once the dust starts to settle. So that's what I'm personally doing. Let's see. The crazy thing, right, is that we're looking at HUSA. I would not be surprised if this thing goes nuts because look at GBR. Now, of course, we will see. Look at this. GBR is going to go to $10. GBR is up 250%. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. This is why I like HUSA. I'm going to actually bring my order up to 240, see if we can get filled at 240. And I love HUSA. I've played it before. So really, the move for HUSA, realistically, okay, got filled. So now I have a little bit aside, a little bit in there. Nothing crazy and not going big. 255 area and then really 290. We can get over 290. This thing can explode because we go back to prior history. Always want to look left. So 290 is the recent high. Then we have some consolidation up around 445, but that's a ridiculously, that's high. And then it has hit, in the past 636. So that's why I like that. That's why I like HUSA. So we'll see. 238 average for now. If it comes down, I don't care. I'm not in big. So it's just kind of a fun little trade that we can do while we're on. Because personally, I don't, days like this is not the time to start trading other stuff, right? You know where the volume's at. All the volume is at the big names that everyone's talking about. That's where all the volume is at. So why are you going to try to go somewhere else, right? So I get it. So these are ideally the days where you find your undervalued plays, you dip by them, you move on. So for me, a lot of SPACs, UWMC, this company does billions of dollars in revenue. It's a recent SPAC. It's sitting at $10. It's not going to be at $10 for long. I'm telling you that right now. At least, who knows? It may take a couple months for it to get attention. It needs, an analyst to come on and say, hey, this is actually a legit company. We like what they're doing. $10 price target. Double. Boom. That's the type of thing you need. And also Clove. I think Clove is significantly undervalued, especially down where it's at. So I'm just, slowly just dip buying. If Clove comes down some more, I'll buy some more. That's what I've been doing on these types of days. Just slowly dip buying a lot of these plays. And we'll see. what I'll do, we'll just keep HUSA in the background. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't go, what are you gonna? I don't care. I'll lose $20, $30, whatever. It is what it is. If it goes and it goes parabolic, like we're seeing with the GBR, as long as GBR keeps up the parabolic move, this has that potential. Like the GBR has gone from $2 to $8, literally in the past like half hour. Like that's insane. So that's why I want to keep HUSA on the back burner for now. I am using Webull, yes. Portfolio down 40%. Oh, Webull's. I don't think you can use it in Europe actually, or maybe you can. I don't know. I don't think you can. But it's having issues, right? Like look at the left hand side. It's like, what is this? This is glitching out. So it's got its issues. So I don't know. I mean, it's not, and the thing is, it's not that okay. Webull's like halting tickers and stuff like that. Or SOS. We'll take a look at SOS. The halt doesn't have anything to do with the platform, but it's because, right, you're getting everyone switching from this platform to this platform to this platform, boom, 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 and it's like, the other platforms can't take it. They're getting everyone requesting, new accounts and this, that, and everything. And so, yeah, like I recommend, I have a link down below if you want to get Webull and you want to sign up and it's a better option than Robinhood 100%. You have trading hours from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, but at the same time, it's also on high volume days, it's not going to work all the time. Just like E-Trade's having issues, just like every platform is having issues today. So SOS, they took down the short float, but I remember looking at it last night. It was high. It was over 20%. SOS, I like. I think this could be a popper. I mean, $2 is your support for SOS, so you're in a ridiculous, in a pretty decent spot, in my opinion. Let's see. Where is HUSA at? Now look, we can't even get the chart. This is the type of stuff that's like, I mean, I'm not surprised, but okay, we can pull this up. ATNF is another massive short float, hit 425 and pulled back. Okay, it's whatever. AMBO here. The reason why I've been in it is because it's a low float China ticker, but it just needs to get the attention, get the traction. Everything's getting kicked. CRBP is getting, killed right now. CRBP is coming down pretty hard. So everything's just kind of like, let's see. What do I do with Robinhood stocks? So it's up to you, honestly, what you want to do. Everyone's saying don't sell, and I hear you. But it's up to you in terms of like what goes on after the fact. If eventually one day you're like, hey, I want to transfer brokers, you can transfer your entire, I'm pretty sure you can transfer your holdings. Like you can literally transfer what you're in, I think. Don't correct me if I may be wrong on that, but yeah, I would recommend a different broker if you're in Robinhood. I would recommend you find someone else. That's just my opinion though. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, they keep what these halts are doing is what they really are is they're just like temporary halts. So let me pull up GME. Let's see what it's up to. Of course, like we're having issues like here all morning on and off with all the platforms. Like they're glitching because there's just too many people on. There's so much volume, they can't handle it, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm trying to pull up AMC. I'm trying to pull something up here. Please. It's not even letting me pull up AMC anymore. Huh. It's like literally like glitch fest. This is nuts. This is nuts. I think the stock should stay active during the transfer, so I don't think that you're gonna get you'll transfer over. If the price actions, if we get some crazy price action, that will probably be reflected in your account once it transfers. Let's see. Can we get anything? Okay, HUSA, we're back up. We can get the chart. So we're down like 3 cents off of this, but I'm taking it as a not precaution, but I'm taking it as a potential trade idea because GBR is still up. GBR is up 200%. HUSA, same sector, is up 11%. Something doesn't make sense there. That's why sympathies are huge. Yeah. So I don't know if I wish I could say like, hey, everyone all the money you lost today, for example, AMC's down, GME's down. I wish I could say that you're going to get it back. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no clue what they're going to do, because the reality would say that, hey, I held the stocks. It was heavily manipulated. I shouldn't lose money, right? You would think that that's how it makes sense. But that's kind of how things have been for years. So what's to say that changed? Now there's a lot of pressure now, a lot of pushback. So I can see the change coming, but I don't know. So it's up to you and what you want to do personally. I completely understand that everyone who's saying hold, I understand. But the thing is, if they unleash it and they open it back up on Robinhood and you can trade everything on every platform, you can trade, AMC, GME, all these stocks again, they're going to blow up. They're going to absolutely explode. Absolutely. What else is going on? AT&F is one that's like, I honestly I want to buy more, but I wanted to honestly buy more under 3. The chart's like thrown off. Let's see if we can get any charts. Hold up. KMPH, we got the 5-minute. The 5-minute chart's working at least. This one I like a lot actually down here under like 650. I like KMPH. I think they had a 25. Well, let's actually pull it up. KMPH is a stock that, this is the type of day for those who are coming in who are new. I'm personally, what I like to do on days like this, when all the attention's elsewhere, is look for undervalued swing trades. So I'm looking for stocks that I can find, that I like in a sector. Like this is a stock that has a legitimate $28 price target from Roth Capital. I mean, okay, the guy has a terrible track record, so okay, maybe take it with a grain of salt. But they put out a $28 price target 3 days ago. They just had an offering too, I believe. This is nuts. So this stock is sitting here now. Okay, price target is one thing. Okay, I get it. But the stock is sitting here at $6 right now after having good news yesterday. For those who want to go back and check out the news, I mean, like, come on. It's like those are the types of dip buys I like. And COLV, this is a stock that's coming back down again. It hit 16 yesterday, but now it's getting crushed and it's dipping hard. I think this is one of those undervalued longer term positions, longer term plays, and I think it's fine. You don't lose unless you sell. That is true. That is true. I traded, there's so many trades that you look back on. You buy something and you're like, oh, okay, well, it dropped below a support level, I'm out. But then you look back to the next day and you're like, oh man, like it's up 100%, or it's up much higher. Well, because technically you have to have some sort of risk, and I preach on the channel some sort of risk management. That's the thing, is that you're getting a lot of people these days. You're getting so many people coming in to like stream, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing so. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up button, that's all I ask. I don't have like any like course. I don't do any of that like course crap and like all that stuff. But like people people do. I try to keep everything free, and we talk about like legitimate trading strategies, right? So this is a hot topic, and so we've got to cover it. But we talk about trading strategies. I trade penny stocks. We have risk management. We have all these things in place, and so logically, to me, today is the dip buy day for a lot of undervalued swing ideas. CPST is another one that's just like getting kicked. It's getting killed. But at some point, right, you got to see, like, at some point, I don't even know. At some point, I don't know what happens, because the market's up today. If we can pull up, I don't even know if the index charts, it's not even working. Market's up today. A lot of stuff's green. But we'll see. We will see what happens. Tomorrow will be just as crazy. I can imagine. I'll probably see if we can do a live again tomorrow. CEI might be worth an oil play. Yeah, here's the issue is that I bought HUSA because that's the one that I'm most familiar with. It's come back, but again, right? Look at the platform. Look what's in front of us. It's all getting hit. It's all down. So that's why I don't want to be going in big on anything right now. Especially, I went on HUSA, but I just bought 200 shares for fun. If the thing blew up and went 200%. I make $100 or whatever it is. Okay, I move on. That's it. But it's just not. It's not the day to start initiating new positions in different stocks that you're going in big. Unless you're buying dips that you're planning on holding for a long term, like for example COLV, Clove. Some of these SPAC plays. These are some beautiful dip buys. Beautiful dip buys. I think you buy that and forget about it, and then you'll wake up in 2 weeks, in 2 months, 2 years, whatever it is, however long the hold is, and you'll be like, wow, thank God I bought those dips. That's what I see. Let's see. SPY. Let's see how SPY. So the market's coming down, right? Let's see, or a little bit. Let's see. It's coming down. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of the stuff I'm in. It's just like straight. It's just down. Like everything I'm in on my, watch list is like, which is crazy because the market's up over 1% today. You'd think everything, it's just showing you what's happening. You have all the volume, all the attention elsewhere, low volume sell-offs. You have brokers down. Everyone's saying, I got to get out. I got to sell this stock. I got to get out. I got to move on. I got to do this. And it's working to a degree, right? It's working because people get to the point where like they can't lose any more money. They have to sell and they'll do it. Like they will. So unfortunately, this is kind of the situation that we're in. And we can't even get like half these stocks pulled up anymore. Let's see if we can pull them up on this. What else? We're trying to see GBR is up 200%. That's now the number one gainer of the day. Somehow an oil like company is up 200% today for whatever reason. It's just, to me, that's nuts. Based on everything that's going on. SNDL is back to like 75. This is crazy. Yeah. So but the thing is too, for those who are looking to like, for those who are, I'm trying to pull up some charts here. For those who are like, hold, don't sell, right? I want to say, like, I don't know what's going to I wish I could say like, hey, you're going to get your money back and this is going to happen, but we don't know. It's bigger than the money though, I think, for a lot of people. It's bigger than the money at this point for a lot of people. So we're trying to pull something up. In the meantime, let's at least look at like, let's look for some stocks. Let's at least do something here. So, okay, let's look at relative or float short over 20%. And let's go and start scrolling through some of these stocks. So American Airlines has gotten killed after hitting like $30+ today. Nuts. ACB could be an interesting one. It's a cannabis play. It's uptrending. It could be an interesting squeeze play. I could see this thing making a shot to $20 at some point in the future, especially with what's going on in the government, with potential passing of a legalization, right? Law. So I can see that happening as well. What else? AKBA, this thing is pushing up, but it's oversold, relatively oversold. So I kind of like this one. 20% of the float is short. So AKBA is another decent idea. Now we're just literally going in alphabetical order, but AMC, here it is. AMC is still 40% short, 100 million shares available to trade. Just crazy. Just crazy. Let's see. We can pull some other stocks up that look like they may have some more to them. Blue Apron, that's I guess like a more popular name. Been kind of grinding the past couple of days from 7 hitting up towards 12, almost doubled. 20%, 21% float short for Blue Apron, so that's another idea. Let's see. ATNF is one that at least I've been watching for a while. AYRO. This one that I've been in for a little bit too, but this is a situation where I think this is going to be a squeezer right here. This is going to be a squeezer as well. 33% of the float is short. Okay, and this is a low float stock. It's 11 million shares. Uptrending, higher lows. We have a 540. We have a 580. We got a 608. We're up here at 7 over 7 right now, and this is a stock that I think it looks like it's setting up for, a potential squeeze at some point. One point or another, I think it's going to happen. So we'll see. I'm trying to pull up if I can pull up any like of my account info on my app for Webull. So it's just crazy. It's like I got like the reality of some of this stuff is like insane. Like the swings that I've been seeing. Appreciate the donation. What's going on with CTRM? I honestly wish I could tell you why they're going to do it. I have two theories as to why they're doing it. Number one, they're doing it to protect people. Okay, so CTRM hit up pretty high, hit up over $1, I think, in pre-market hours, and has since come back. CTRM has a 20% or so short float, so I can see it. It's a cheap stock. It's a pretty decent target. I think it makes, it kind of fits somewhat of the mold, somewhat makes some sense. But that said, Robinhood is not probably. They're going to say they're doing this to protect you. Because what is ultimately what happened? They had prior lawsuits. They had prior issues. What happened in the past, right? Someone killed themselves. So they had that whole mess. And they don't want that to happen again. Obviously, number one. I don't think anyone wants that to happen to anyone, right? But So they're protecting themselves for eventually, if these stocks come down, right, which is what they're expecting at some point, they're going to come down. And reality, if they didn't put any restrictions, nothing happened, probably the case would be this would go, we'd kind of fizzle out eventually, and things would kind of cool back off eventually. I don't know how long it would take, but it would cool off eventually, right? But still, someone is still going to lose money because there's going to be someone who gets in a little bit late to the party and they end up buying, and they bought AMC, this morning, and then AMC comes crashing down, for example, right? So they're trying to protect against that person who doesn't know what's going on, who does that, and then comes crying to Robinhood saying, hey, I lost all this money, why didn't you stop me? So I can see that. But at the same time, that's manipulation, because what happened? When everybody knew Robinhood stopped, you couldn't trade AMC, you couldn't trade GameStop, you couldn't trade SNDL, all these stocks, NAKD. Everyone knew that. What's the logical move? Short. Because now all you can do on that platform and other platforms, the only option is either hold it or sell it. Now, yes, that's why everyone's saying hold. I get it. But you're going to have panic sellers. You're going to have people who are freaking out, who put in too much money, who can't afford to lose that money. So what are they going to do? They're going to sell. So the stock now has much more selling pressure to the way down. And so it's manipulating because it is the logical short play for the big money, the hedge fund, to now say, hey, we lost the first time, let's hammer it this morning. And they went on and made a killing this morning. I'm telling you, they definitely did. There are people who absolutely made a killing shorting GameStop, AMC, all these stocks this morning. They absolutely did. There's no doubt in my mind that they did. And so I'm with, that's not right. It's not, but it happened. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just insane. If you are in, obviously at this point, if you're in AMC and I'm trying to pull this is like, I can't get anything here, which is like ridiculous. If you're in AMC and stuff, if you're at this point, I'm telling you, like it's, if you're already holding this down this far, just this low, AMC, at this point it's at $7, whatever it's at. I'll pull it up on Google as well, just to pull it up, just in case we get it. It's at $8, so it's kind of coming back up a little bit because we're having issues with the platforms. All the platforms are having issues today. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense at this point to sell it if you're down huge on it, right? Because what's going to happen is if they unleash this and say, hey, let's open it back up to everybody tomorrow, this thing is going to rip right back up. And so you're going to end up buying this thing back for higher than what you're going to be. Then, if you're someone who bought it at 20 and you're selling it now. Again, understand, could it keep going down? Yes. Could they end up not doing anything? And could these lawsuits that people are threatening with, nothing happen? Yeah. Could it happen? Yeah, nothing could happen. Just understand that that's a possibility. So I don't want people to lose money, but that is the risk. That's obviously the risk that you have here. GME, let's pull up, what is GME at? Actually, let's pull it up on this really quick. I wish I could use the platform, but it's so glitchy right now. I'm giving it some time. I might even just reset it or something in a second if it doesn't work. Pulling up off the bottom, hit 120 and is recovering a little bit off the bottom for GameStop. But that's nuts. I mean, I don't even know. Oh man. Man. GameStop, the game is over. I wonder if you can go to GameStop and cash in your shares for some credits. GameStop would be you go to GameStop and you cash in. Hey, I have 100 shares, and they're like, all right, we'll give you $2. that's like the meme. Man. What is this? Let's see. E-Trade Cash Apps. Yeah, I didn't even realize that you can trade all these stocks on Cash App. You can trade and buy stocks in Cash App and stuff like that, which is crazy. I'll say though, for those who say it's over, I'm not I never actually bought any shares of GameStop. I actually had AMC. I don't think it's remotely over, because what has this done, right? It's only made people more angry. It's gotten people more pissed. And so since you got people who are more pissed and angry, what have you've essentially made the matter worse at hand, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear that it's, but at the same time, I don't see this ending. I don't see this ending. GBR is at $9. GBR hit almost 10. How is HUSA not ripping? Where is HUSA? Okay, it's come back up a little bit. I don't see how this is not ripping. I'm trying to pull stuff up here. Some things are loading up. Some things are not. So we're trying to get stuff up. But what is this? This is just a time where it's like anything you try to trade, it's like you can't do it. The broker's down. This is down. This is down. That's down. It's like it's just not allowing anyone to do anything, which is terrible. Oh man. And the market's up today too, but it's come back a little bit off of where it was a couple minutes ago, or at least an hour ago or so. Personally, it kind of stinks because usually when the market's so green, you'd love to be able to take advantage and make money. But when you can't even trade a stock, or when all the stocks that you were in or whatever are going down, it's like, let's see if we can get NAKD up. And that's the thing too. I would say, I hear you. I know there's a lot of people who don't want to hear like the recommendation to not buy. I'm not saying sell if you're in. I understand the point of why people are holding and the whole, like, it's not just like, oh, I'm trying to make, it's more than that. There's a point to be made. So I get it. But if you're playing with money that you can't afford to lose, and like if you lost that money, you can't pay your bills, then you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Play with money that you can afford to lose, and then you can have, you can have skin in the game, and then you don't have to be the one crying when nothing happens. Like, I don't know, we can't say that, hey, they're gonna come back and they're gonna refund you. That's probably not gonna happen. But then again, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you do get refunded. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Would you just hold your position? So what I'm personally doing is I have sold some. I think I sold VIVE. That thing I was holding from the low threes, it went over to over 4, almost at 5. I sold VIVE today. Outside of that, not much. That's it. That's the only thing that I sold today. Everything else I'm holding, and I don't think I bought much. If anything, I actually just bought HUSA because GBR is running up. So I bought a little bit of that. But other than that, that's it. I'm slowly buying dips on some of the SPAC plays. So like Clover Health, COLV. I bought a little bit of that dip yesterday. I bought some dips on some SPAC plays and stuff. So I'm doing that on the sideline because I think that there's some undervalued swing plays that are oversold that, could certainly keep going. Because what you're seeing is another form of shakeout. While people may be crushing the suits on certain stocks here, think back and think and understand all the other stocks that you're in on the back burner that are all going down, and they're just kind of going down. They're ticking down. They're just dropping slowly on low volume, right? They're killing you there. They're shorting all those stocks, and they're killing you there because you're just going to panic sell or whatever's going to happen, and they're going to get you there. So that's where I'm buying dips because they will recover. Many of them will recover to a degree. So I'm not just going to panic sell into stuff like that. It just doesn't make sense. Although, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and I get crushed. But again, I have a plan that works for me. I have a risk management style where, like, worst case scenario, I lose this much, right? So I make sure, oh my gosh, GBR just hit 1020. That's insane. How HUSA has not followed this thing, or even CEI. CEI is at only 10% up. I'm looking at these guys on the left-hand side. I know this is a little bit small. How those have not followed is insane. HUSA is now starting to kind of push. It's starting to get attention. So do you sell or hold? I buy the dips on red days. Now, to a degree, right? So some stocks that are falling below support, I'm not buying the dip just yet. I'm being careful. If it's still within my kind of boundaries of my trade, for example, WWR, AYRO are stocks that I bought dips on because they still fell within the boundaries of my trade. It's still, the chart setup still looks good. I broadened things out. Longer term scale, where I'm talking about trends over the past couple of weeks and months, I still like the trend. The trend is still my friend. So on those trades, so I'm still buying some dips. LLIT, I didn't trade. I know I didn't trade. I appreciate it, but I mean, GBR is going crazy. GBR hit 1023 right now. So I bought a little bit of HUSA just for some fun, and now where is that HUSA? It's pushing up. Let's see. I can pull it up on my phone. I'm still technically down on that trade, but we'll see. I'm waiting for it to blow up. If it explodes, that's where I'm looking to make a few bucks on. But I'm not going in big because again, the brokers have been up and down. They're up for 1 minute, then they're down because there's too much volume. There's too much attention. So this is the hottest stock of the day, though. So whether you like it or not, GBR, New Concept Energy, is the hottest stock of the day. Let's pull up this site. This is just like probably funny. this is their website. This stock today has made people, tons of money. Those who are in it, those who are trading it, and stuff like that. This is the company. info@newconceptenergy.com is if you want to, email them. 10:30. This thing is running up. This is nuts. So I'm surprised that we're not seeing a follow through with some other, other plays here. I'm really surprised we're not seeing a follow through with some other oil plays. We're just getting like ENSV is one. Okay, now ENSV is going. Now ENSV is starting to get unleashed. This is one for sure. Okay, let's see if I can find another one on the side. CEI is kind of trying, but it's not, really making a huge move like anything, to that degree. Where else? Let's pull up HUSA. It's just like, it hasn't been a big spike. Has not been a big spike. AOC tweeting about, that's the funny thing too, is that like, it's funny who comes onto the same page, who agrees now. It's like, this is a bigger issue than, what a lot of people potentially think. I mean, I'm honestly, I may even be right on the week. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm like probably very even on the week right now. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But even if I thought today with the green day, okay, we'll recover a good amount of the money that we lost. I was up big the first 2 days of the week. Then yesterday lost it all, went to like even, went down actually, then went up. It was like all messing around. And then today was up huge this morning, and then it's like just everything is just like draining my account, just like draining me, like everything I'm just holding. But I'm not going to sell. Why am I going to sell AYRO or like some of these stocks I've been in just for them to run tomorrow or run next week? Like it's just CTRM. The problem with CTRM is that they're an offering machine. Although the offering machine doesn't matter anymore because it's like it doesn't matter. Like personally, as a company, they've raised from. I've been following them. They've raised quite a bit of capital the past couple of weeks. They do tons of offerings, which is not good for a long. If you're in the stock for like a short-term play, you want to get in after the offering. You don't want to be in when they do the offering. But they just got some new vessels. They're a shipping company. They got a new ship, I believe. Whatever. I don't know. I never really saw too much value in the stock unless they made some other progress in other places. I don't know. But that's just me. I'm not bashing the stock. I would love to see this thing go back over 1, but I never really understood it because I traded it so many times in the past, and it would do the same thing. It would go up, and then it would do an offering immediately. Go up a little bit, and then boom, come right back down. And so ultimately, you just were in like a perpetual downtrend for like years. Like that's what it is. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we can get anything pulled up here. Okay, maybe it's gonna let me. No, it's not. It's not gonna let me do it. This is ridiculous. I literally can't even get into I can't even search for new tickers. Oh man. Exactly. That's the thing. So when you sell, when you're looking at your stocks right now and you're going to say, yeah, I can't, I got to cut the loss. I got to sell, right? What's going to happen is guess who's buying your shares? The big money's buying it. And then they're going to ride that thing up tomorrow and they're going to make a ton of money. GBR is now up 350% on the day, blowing everything out of the water. Unless they want to halt this thing, unless they want to stop this thing on Robinhood or whatever, this is the next stock. It's up 300+%. Man, and we can't even pull it up. We can't, like half of these stocks, we can't, no data. We're getting nothing. We can't even pull up the charts. Like we are literally just like, it's just, man. Can we even get Bitcoin? Can we get Bitcoin up here? Let's see if we get Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's at 32K. That's a decent, it's actually pushing up, at least from my recollection this morning. It's pushing up a little bit. All right, well, we can't, for whatever reason, we are not able to pull these things up. Okay, Uh, Big boys make their cash in the shorts today, and then we buy back tomorrow. I hear you. I don't know why they're not halting GBR, and every stock's different. GBR, if I can, man, I wish we can like get the charts. GBR, if I pull up, here's their slide again for those who wanted to see. GBR, if I pull up GBR here, this thing is ripping. Headquarters in Dallas, Texas. I wish we can get a better look at this chart the past couple of days, even this past year. This thing was trading in like the $1 to $2 range for quite some time, and then it just blew up. Let's take a peek at AMC. Well, all these platforms are down. We got no choice but to use Google. So I'm sorry, but like, unfortunately, all the platforms are just getting crushed. So it's making it like, if you shut them down for long enough, what is everyone going to do? What are a lot of people going to do? They're going to say, yeah, let me just get out and just move on. I'll just take my loss. So I don't, for a lot of stocks that you believe in, even if it's not the big names, if it's not AMC, it's not Gamestop, it's not, whatever. Still, if anything, these are days to buy the dips. But we're just seeing ridiculous market manipulation that I hate. I just personally hate seeing it, because not only are people getting screwed out of it, but at the same time, to a degree, right? We try to do, and what I hopefully was, doing with my channel and making videos, is that I trade penny stocks, right? We learn the game, right? There's a game. There's a way these are traded. They have a cycle. They generally like to do this. We can see what big money does. We can see what institutional buyers, when they buy in, when they don't. We can see all that stuff. So we can kind of reverse engineer a strategy based off of learning the game. We can reverse engineer a strategy. And so when we do that, we've been learning the game. And so like my whole thing was, we can do that. We understand the manipulation happens, and we can still find a way to win. And that's what we have traditionally been doing. Like at least the strategies that I built have been doing that. Now you got a whole new wrench, and so you got to adapt. So we have to adapt, and we will. But I want things to iron out. So this, honestly, now that I think of it, as much as I don't want to sell, wouldn't be a terrible time to switch brokers if you want to switch brokers eventually, or transfer from Robinhood to something else. I don't know how the lead time on that and how much time it's going to take, but I'm holding tight. And that's what I'm doing too. I mean, I'm not going to, the worst thing you can do is honestly sell something that's getting crushed and then wake up tomorrow and see that it's up. And it happens all the time. I do it. I've done it so many times, and you hate to look back and see that. And so I don't want that to happen. So I learn from past mistakes. Let's see if we can get back up on here. Let's see if Webull can give us any chart, anything. Can you give us something here? Please, please, please. Nope. It's just everything's down. Oh, man. I don't know. Man, this is nuts. This is not. I hear why everyone is just so pissed and upset about all this stuff. So what I think I'm going to do, because things are kind of calming down, things are not as crazy. At least it's lunch hours. It's kind of, somewhat calm. I'm buying dips, if anything. I'm not selling, I sold VIVE. That was one stock I sold today. VIVE, pull this bad boy up. Penny stock I traded, look at the past history, right? The thing bottomed out at $3. I bought it down around $3.25. And then today the thing pops up. It actually hit higher than over $4, over like $4.50. So I sold into the pop. That's it. That was my strategy for the past few weeks. And it finally happened. I took my money and I walked away. Now I have that money. I have extra cash. I'm ready to buy dips, and that's what I'm going to do. So what I may do is come back tonight. I'm sure there's going to be more information. There's going to be more stuff that happens. I may come back tonight, do a quick live stream tonight, maybe around like 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern, or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I appreciate you guys so much for jumping in. I feel horrible for everyone who's getting killed, and I understand. It's just massive manipulation that we're seeing right now, and Naked's just absolutely flushing, man. That's nuts. Naked's flushing, but they're getting what they want by everyone panic selling. That's what they're getting what they want. So I see what everyone's saying is just hold the fort down. Not the one to tell you to be buying stuff with money you can't afford to lose. That's just not absolutely against everything that I stand for, especially with prior videos when I do on the channel. But that said, don't be the one that panic sells without a plan. If you're panic selling, but your plan is to hold this thing through the weekend because you think there's going to be either, lawsuits, you think that they're going to open the floodgates back up, allow everyone to trade AMC, Gamestop, and they're going to get this under control, and they're going to kind of just say, okay, no more regulation on this stuff, go, then that's your plan. Then you're fine. Don't be stupid. So we'll see what happens. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna sign off for now. Probably come back tonight if there's anything crazy that happens, so stay tuned for that. This is nuts. This is a crazy, crazy time. So thanks so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Links down below for any other resources. Webull, M1 Finance. There's like free money there if you want to check those links out. Literally, they give you free money for signing up, and it's not Robinhood. So I like those brokers better. Although you're gonna have issues if everyone's flooding into a broker. They're going to go down. They're going to have too much volume. They can't handle it. So that's what we're seeing with everybody today. So thank you guys so much. Stick through it. We'll come back tonight, most likely, and update what is going on. So I appreciate you guys. Stay as positive as you possibly can. I know a lot of people are probably red. A lot of people are hurting, but I appreciate you guys for jumping in. Thanks so much.